Now, as a country boy, I'm into tractors. Paradoxically, I'm really not into ATVs. And the problem is, my tractor don't got an engine. And unfortunately, that engine over there is wrapped in an ATV. So I guess you know where we're heading, right? Crap. Guess I'll have to build it then, as usual. So, here we are. It's been a while since there's been a vehicle in this garage, so it's about time. So let's find out what we have to work with. So let's get some tools. And there we have it, a complete chassis. And it is proper light, which is good. Another thing that's good is it's a rotational cast, so it has structural integrity on its own. Now that's also a drawback, because we need to cut in it to make parts fit, so we'll have to add reinforcements to it later, but yeah, minor details. So now we just need an undercarriage. And it doesn't help how many times I say that word, it still sounds dirty. But then again, this build is gonna be dirty. So yeah, let's go get the ATV and source some parts. Come on! Oh, it's a bit tight. Alright, I'm not gonna be dumb and break my back over this, so go get help. There it is. It's nice to have a wife when you need something lifted up onto a table. She's got a stronger back than I do. So yeah. Kind of feel bad tearing it apart because I bought it used, but I think the previous owner only had like a tank of gas through it. So yeah. Now the good thing is that the axle distance is the exact same, and that was just by dumb luck. But also the width of it is, it's hard to see, but yeah, the wheels will just barely be proud of the fenders. That's why I want to keep them, if possible, and as long as I can. So, of course the plastic needs to go, the seat needs to go, and it is a very basic frame, and it looks like the width of the structure is well within the width of the tractor, but this part might be a bit high. Well, the highest point that I would like to keep if I could is the upper part where the spring is attached. Of course I can adjust the fastening and the angle of it, but I mean, I have been riding this one and it does take my weight, and if I change the geometry here I will change the ride feel. But yeah, I also think this will fit within the rear part of the tractor chassis, but I need to, of course, cut out some bigger openings, and I need to find some attachment points for the body. And of course, this is a swing arm, so it's moving up and down, so it needs clearance for that. So I might just chop the rear seat, angle that down so it's flat, and see if I rest the tractor chassis on that, how the ride height looks. Of course, I want the body to be slammed down to the wheels as far as possible. And of course, this tiny little muffler needs to go, but this is basically very easy pipe, so just move it underneath. Although it is a tractor, so I might route it up in the front. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the plastic because I know that's going to have to go, but then I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to cut anything in the chassis until I had a good think. Because it is annoying cutting something and then having to weld it back together again. But yeah, I mean, this flimsy plastic will come off in no time, won't it? Let's just try. Let's see. So there it is, a stripped down driving machine. And it is refreshingly clean, and even so extremely simple. So yeah. Unfortunately, I might have to extend the chain if I need to move the engine. I'm hoping I don't have to move the engine, but you never know. And I just realized a good thing. The exhaust has 2 bolts and they are 90 degrees on the direction of the ATV. So if I swap it 180 degrees, that bend will go forward and I can route the pipe up here somewhere. That means that I might have the exhaust coming up where it should be on a tractor. Now my biggest concern really is the front suspension, because I don't want to cut anything here, because that's going to be a pain to align and get proper again. But I should move the steering column, not move it, but angle it more backwards. The fuel tank is very easy to relocate. And the steering column is just an axle going through a flat plate. So I can actually just cut that, angle it, and weld it back together. I have some leeway on these connector rods. So I can just cut this, move that plate back and make that align with the original hole for the steering wheel on the tractor. Nice! Now, as far as the engine goes, I'm going to leave it in place untouched. Might cover it up while I'm working on it. I'll of course drain the fuel tank. And this rear part is actually bolted on, so I can remove that. Cut 2 slits here, just angle that down so it's parallel to the ground, and then weld up the slits. Of course, if that's not low enough, I can move the mount for the spring forward, or I could go the lazy way and just weld in a couple of bars and just have a stiff rear end. It's not going to be comfortable to ride anyway, I'm guessing, but yeah, if I can of course keep the suspension, I will. So yeah, that's the plan. I was thinking about removing the foot pegs, but if I can cut the chassis and that can rest on these, I actually have a place to put my feet, so I'm going to keep those. Wasn't thinking that I would, but yeah, it's a nice addition. And of course I need to cut a hole in the chassis to reach this and the fuel valve. The question is, am I going to cut it and make a hinge, or am I going to cut it out and put a corrugated aluminium plate there? Yep, I have quite a few things to figure out before I cut anything else. And of course that's famous last words, isn't it? I'm going to come in my workshop tomorrow and just going to let's start cutting. So yeah, pretty pleased with today's progress. Oh, this is going to be so cool.